So what I'd like you to do is draw a climate graph for Dubai, which has a desert climate, using a sharp pencil and a ruler and a piece of graph paper and your set of data that you've been given for homework. So what you need to do first of all is draw along the bottom the x-axis for 24 centimeters. So right away across the bottom, 24 centimeters. And along this line will be our months of the year. So you can turn your paper sideways and you can write January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and so on. And they should fit on perfectly every centimetre. So you'll notice I've got 1 centimetre gap, 1 centimetre January, 1 centimetre gap, 1 centimetre February, 1 centimetre gap, 1 centimetre March, 1 centimetre gap, 1 centimetre April, and so on. So you can mark them all the way across if you like, every centimetre. Like that. So your bars for rainfall are going to go by these months. There should be a gap between each bar, a 1 centimetre gap. Next, you're going to draw your y-axis. So if you draw a line for 16 centimetres on the left hand side and the same on the right hand side, 16 centimetres. We're now going to plot our scale on our y-axis. This particular graph has got 2 y-axes, which makes it a little bit more complicated. So we're going to start with the one on the left hand side. So they always start at 0. So what we'll plot here is our temperature data. If you notice in your notes, your temperature data goes up to a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. So we're going to need our scale to go up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So what I've done there, every 2 centimetres, I've then done a little mark. So 2 centimetres 5, 2 centimetres 10, 2 centimetres 15, 2 centimetres 20, and so on all the way up. That would make each of these little tiny squares, 2 of them is 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. You can mark them right up if you want, if it makes it easier. I need to label this axis, temperature in degrees Celsius, and I need to then move to this axis, which has a different scale. So if you notice, we're going to plot precipitation in millimetres on this scale. The maximum precipitation is 14 millimetres. So we're going to use the same scale. So we start at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and you finish at 40 there. So the same scale, that would mean that again, each 2 little squares is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on to the top. Again, you can mark those if you want to. So we now need to label this axis, precipitation in millimetres. And then we can begin to plot our data. So we'll start with the temperature. Temperature is always plotted as a line graph, so we need to plot points. So the first figure is 18 degrees Celsius in January. So here's January, and 18 degrees Celsius will need to go in the middle of your January bar, so right in the middle there, and 18 is, if we measure up, 15, 16, 17, 18. So do the small, really tiny little dot or a cross, very, very small one. In February, it's 19, so we go up again in the middle of our bar for February, right up the middle. So that is 19 degrees Celsius, small little dot. In March, we need to go up to 22. So middle of March, right the way up to 20, 21, 22, dot. April's 25, so in the middle of April, all the way up 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's right on that darker line. May, in the middle of May, 29. And so on like that. In the middle of June, 33. July, 34. August, 34. September, 33. October, 29. November, 24. And December, 21. Okay, so you've got these dots that go right up, they increase and then decrease again. So freehand, you do not join this to this line here. You just begin here and you pass your line very, very accurately through the middle of all of your dots. Very sharp pencil right through the middle to make sure it goes through the center of your dots or crosses, whichever one you did. And this can be coloured red afterwards, so do it in pencil first and then go over it in a red pencil because it's temperature, so it's always plotted in red and it should look like that. So that's your temperature line showing in Dubai the temperature. Your precipitation lines are now bars, they're not line graphs, they're bars, okay? And you're going to use this side to plot your bars. So your first number in millimetres is 8 millimetres, so we go 5, 6, 7, 8. And remember, it's 8 in January, so you've got to go all the way across to January and plot 8. So it's there, so we get our ruler and we plot 8. 8 millimetres. In February, 14 millimetres. In March, 7 millimetres. In April, 4 millimetres. And then you'll notice there's 0 in May, 0 in June, 0 July, 0 August, 0 September because it's a desert. 0 October as well, so there's no rainfall whatsoever. Very little rainfall in November at 3 millimetres. And then lastly, December, 8 millimetres, so slightly higher. Okay, and those bars should be coloured in blue if you've got a blue colouring pencil. When you colour, just make sure you don't go over the edges of your bars. Keep it nice and neat when you colouring them in. When you're plotting these, make sure you use a ruler, and these are done very neatly as well. There's one thing missing off here, two things actually. A title first of all, so your title is Climate Graph Dubai. And we have it labelled under here, these are months. Okay, so if I was to check the accuracy of this, you can write SACSALT, which means, is there a scale? Yes, it's neat and tidy, we've got it on there. Have you labelled your axes? Yes, we've got our labels. Have we got a title? Yes, we have. So S, A, L and T are all complete, which means we can then circle complete. The graph is complete. Is it accurate? I've been as accurate as possible. So if you feel that it's accurate, we can tick that it's accurate. Is it suitable? Yes, it's suitable. We've got a bar graph to show the rainfall. We've got line graph to show the temperature. So we can say that that is also done, and then you know that your graph is fully complete and you can bring it in next lesson.